Hi, Dave Snyder here. It is the 22nd evening of June 2015. Let's just start off with something to scale today. Why don't we? Showed us a long time ago. This is Lunar South Pole pattern over Asia. And the way to align this one, check it out. Look how it fits in the borders now. You gotta have the borders on. Turn the borders on. This is a flipped over image of the lunar South Pole with Schrodinger and everything right here, right? You have to flip the picture over, and then what you do is you fade this out, like, right? Take this, or wait, that. Right. Okay, you fade that out, and you get the borders on, right? Turn this, and you just, as you zoom in, you'll see Schrodinger. Right there. Boom. See the circle right there? That's Schrodinger, like I pointed out before. See how that fits right there? It goes there. Trust me, it goes there. And then watch. Look at this right here. Oh, it goes there. It definitely goes there. That is to scale, people. Look at that. That's to scale. And I've shown you over the years now, over the years. I mean, I can't show you much anymore because they're not real. I could go through my old pictures and bring up stuff and make it up brand new for you, but I'm just not really, you know, doing it as much as I used to. That's all. I still like to check it out, but I just don't get it. When I first started doing it, I was like really checking it out, and now I got enough spots. I got enough. Almost. I mean, not really. There's still a couple things to find out, I'm sure. But look at that. That's the scale, people. This is over the actual. This is overlaid over the actual Google Earth size of that country, of Siberia, Russia, whatever. This object is like, there's like an impact that happens right there, that you see that spot right there. That's an impact, and we know that there's Tunguska right there, right in the center of it. See that? Right in the center. That's not what I'm not saying that's whatever it did to I'm not even saying the relation is that it's a highly attractive targeted area, basically, where they had million-year eruptions in this area. They have the largest lava field, is the Siberian traps, that are just massive. It's 50,000, what do they say, 500,000 times bigger, or 50,000 times bigger than the Hawaiian lava fields or something like that. It's just huge. It's bigger than the United States, this area, or yeah, bigger than the United States. This whole thing built by something like that, or I mean, started. Something like that started that. Look at that. That is a perfect overlay. That is to scale. This crater right here on the moon is 200 miles in diameter. Right here, it's 1,000 miles in diameter in this picture, and it's a perfect. I mean, like I've been showing it all this time. At this size, it's always this size. You see it in the weather. When you used to see it in the weather, it would always be this size in the weather. It would always be that size in the weather. It was never 200 miles. Not ever once was it ever 200 miles in diameter over the Earth. Never. It's always this size. 900 to 1,000 miles. Depends on how I'm aligning it and where I'm aligning it, but it fits right there, perfect. Look, showed it in the weather here a bunch of times, whole bunch of times. Not lately, but in the past I have. You can see my old videos. That goes there. That's the Lunar South Pole pattern. Moscow falls right on the King Cobra, the Egyptian. Look at this is, like I said, this right here is the Sphinx right here. This is the Sphinx right here. That's the cobra in the center of the head. You take a picture of the Sphinx head and you put it over a good picture of this crater, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It is the same thing. This is where the Sphinx comes from. This is the Christ crater. This is Schrodinger crater. Basically, I think they named it after him because of Schrodinger's cat or something, because the Sphinx is a cat. But it's, and they were totally unrelated when I realized that. I mean, I just realized the part about Schrodinger's cat the other day, linking to Sphinx, and I noticed this was the Sphinx a long time ago, but it just came to me like 4 or 5 days ago, I think, or no, maybe a week ago, that it was Schrodinger's cat. That, that's that, because I always wondered why they would name it after Schrodinger. Because what would he have to do with it? It's like the most important crater on the whole moon, and they named it after Schrodinger. It's just kind of weird. He must have been a real important guy. I mean, they don't make him seem so important, but they named a big, giant, important crater after his ass, and I'm telling you, it's like the most important crater. It's Christ crater. It's the Sphinx crater. Then people worship the Sphinx. This is the Sphinx, where the Sphinx comes from. This is the crater it comes from. Like I said, overlay the Sphinx. I've already shown you a picture of an Egyptian person right there with the cobra in the middle and everything. That's the same thing. Comes from this. This is just a bad. This is from Google Moon. That's why it doesn't show any detail. Find the right one of this crater, and you line the pharaohs or any of that inside of there, and you'll see exactly what I mean. You'll see the pyramids and stuff, shapes, and all that stuff. And then you put the Jesus pictures that are inside of circles. You find the pictures of Jesus that has his head or the whatever, him and his two buddies, the angels or whatever that are above him. If you find that in a circular pattern, put that inside there too. See what happens. Here you got St. Petersburg. Right here, the St. Peter. He's on this side. I'm guessing he's on this side of the moon, or of this crater, because there's Jesus in the middle, and St. Peter must be on this side, because there's St. Peter, and then whoever it is on the other side of Jesus is on this side. Whatever. I don't know who it is, but I read about it once. But I know one of them, St. Peter. And you look up St. Peter, and you see and he was Jesus' right hand man. He would have been right next to him, and there it is, right there. And I noticed that at a different time that I noticed that I've already had realized this is Jesus. I was just looking at this one day, and I seen that say St. Petersburg. I was like, wait a minute, because I already knew that was like an angel or something on the side of the center. I already knew that. And then when that fell into place right there, I said, holy shit, there it is. They named that city after St. Petersburg because that's where St. Peter, or whoever it is, got Jesus' right hand dude. That's where he was, and I pointed that out before I even realized that. I already had pointed that out, and then that name just popped up on its own with this alignment, and this alignment is accurate. So when it puts St. Petersburg right there where one of those saints or whatever, one of Jesus' right hand dudes, the one that I guess he started the church and wherever, a bunch of stuff. Just look it up. But it puts it right in place. I can't remember the guy on the other side, but this is the crown. This is why kings are crowned. There's like this area here is like the crown or the cobra. If you're Egypt, if you're an Egyptian, it's the cobra. If you're otherwise, it's Jesus in the center, and there's Saint Peter on this side, and whoever is on this side. I don't remember. That was enough for me. I just was good with that, I think. You know what I mean? Because I know Moscow this is a little bit off this picture, but that's Moscow right there. That's the print of Moscow right there. This spot, watch. I think I had to move it, so it's a little bit off right now. It's a little bit off. Wait, is it? Yeah, because this is supposed to be over. This should be over Moscow directly. That part right there should be over Moscow directly. One of these areas. It might be that. I don't think so. Anyways, those go together. Those two. I mean, there it is. There it is. Wherever this part hits the earth, this spot hits the earth. Check it out, man. I'm telling you, it's a trip. Wherever this spot hits the earth is where there's a major city there, like Moscow, and then you got Rome, same thing. Rome is like a spot where that hits, and you got, oh man, where's the other one? There's another. It's hard. I could think of just not right off the top of my head right now. But anyways, there's a bunch of places, big cities. I mean, important places. Every place this hits is an important place. Let me just put it that way. That's how the people are, man. They or were back then. If they knew, because this must have provided something, wherever it hit, and they realized of one spot, it must have provided like gold or something, and they just said, oh, wherever that is, that's the king. We got to get that. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. Because that is all over the place. That's the Bahamas. It's in the Bahamas right here. This shape, the exact shape is in the Bahamas, right here. And there's a good place to get a scale of it too, right there. That's it right there. That's the King's. Yeah, there's that little spot, or something like that. You can see the shape of it. Anyways, just want to point out that did I point anything out? Oh yeah, that overlay. Boom. There it is. And then there's this other one too. That's right. This one here. Watch. It's a good one too. This is one I just did the other day. It's an old picture I just did the other day. I thought it was pretty cool. I gotta find it. There it is. Took this picture, and I was right in the middle of the United States, and I knew right where it went. When I seen the pattern, I was like, oh man, it's going to go right in Mare Oriental, right? I knew that so I brought up Mare Oriental, and I stuck this picture over the top, and this is how well I must know Mare Oriental, because it just fits there. Very nice. See how it's got this round area up here? It actually lowered it, it would seem a little better, but see what I mean? Oh, it didn't save what I saved. What I had, I moved it last night. It was better last night. I had it better. Try to get it better again because I said my computer crashed. Up a little, right in there somewhere. It's so nice. Anyways, that's it. Have a great night.